The global energy map is rapidly turning into a conflict map. Well, at the center of this disruption is Iran's South Pars gas field, the world's largest natural gas reserve. Israeli strikes targeting processing infrastructure here have hit a critical note in global energy supply. But the impact is no longer limited to one site. Across the Gulf, key energy assets are now in the line of fire, from LNG hubs in Qatar to major refining and export facilities in Saudi Arabia. The most critical flashpoint remains the Strait of Hormuz. Disruptions here have slowed tanker movement and raised fears of a broader supply shock. What we are witnessing is not a localized escalation. It is a systematic disruption hitting production, processing, and transportation all at once. By scale and spread, this is shaping up to be one of the most significant energy disruptions in modern history. Markets are now reacting directly to these disruptions on the ground. Global benchmark Brent crude oil has surged sharply, crossing the $110 mark and remaining highly volatile. The reason is simple: supply risk. Strikes on infrastructure combined with threats to shipping routes have created uncertainty over millions of barrels of daily supply. Even the possibility of prolonged disruption is enough to push prices higher. This has immediate global consequences. Higher crude prices translate into rising fuel costs. For energy importing countries like India, the impact is even sharper. Higher import bills, currency pressure, and potential risks to growth. At the center of this crisis is US President Donald Trump, who is facing a complex geopolitical and economic dilemma. On one hand, there is strategic support for Israel and its military objectives. On the other, there is the growing risk that continued strikes on energy infrastructure could trigger a sustained oil shock with global economic consequences. This balancing act is already visible. Washington has signaled restraint, even as discussions emerge around possible measures to stabilize markets. This includes releasing strategic reserves and potentially easing restrictions on Iranian oil exports. Well, the pressure is not just coming from geopolitics, but from the global economy itself. Trump's victory plan now faces an economic dilemma: contain the geopolitical escalation while preventing a full-scale energy and economic crisis.